We bought this Mercedes Sprinter with a suspected blown head gasket.
And we're repairing it on a driveway. The engine is out this week. And we're back. Well, it's been a cold one. We are about to take the engine out today. We've left it for a few days and yeah, it's a little bit icy. Oh, it's cold, it's cold, it's cold. Temperature check. It is 0 degrees, -3 is the lows today. Got the tools ready. What we have to do is we have to get this turbo off here in order to get this exhaust off. That way, we're not taking the turbo off, we're taking the exhaust at the turbo. There's also a bracket here that we've got to take off, this one here as well, I think, because that gets in the way, but I don't know if that's going to get in the way, but we'll see, because how we're going to take that off without taking that bracket off, I don't know. So, I think what we've got to do now is we've got to probably make sure the engine's held, so on the crane, and get in there and take that off, and then out we get.
Now we need to connect the crane to the engine so that we have the opportunity to disconnect things at the back. Is it turning to be difficult to take it out?
Turning to be difficult? I think from the start it's been, you know, I'm not a mechanic. I'm trying.
This is
I
out.
think after this,
Yeah.
you can buy me a hat that says mechanic.
Okay, fair enough.
Alright?
When it drives.
Hey?
When it drives, fine.
Yeah. It's only this sucking mud. This, it's all free. The engine's out.
Now we needed to move the engine to flat ground.
Away now, wait.
Oh god.
What is it, that engine? Is it a ton?
I don't know. It's heavy.
Probably, around about, yeah. 800 kilos I think it is.
So it's about a ton.
Yeah. With the gearbox.
Takes 2 tons, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, but that's what I mean, how's the wheel got like that? It's stupid, isn't it?
Well, they're not made very well, are they?
No. It's a cold, cold morning. It is -2 today. We are out here and we're going to strip the engine. Look at the frost on the floor. Definitely a bit chilly. And here's said engine. So we'll be uncovering her and then taking the head gasket off, I guess. It's a beautiful day. Here we are. This is a OM651 engine for that Mercedes Sprinter W907. This is a 2018. So first and foremost, don't forget our trusty gloves. Oh. Looking forward to doing this one. Not in the cold. But we did contact a couple of mechanics and unfortunately they didn't want to take it on. Too much of a big job. God knows why. We also have a few socket sets and a trusty bag of tools. We have to strip said engine ready for a new head gasket and a new oil cooler. As you can see, oil has got all down the engine, so I can only imagine that is the oil cooler.
To disconnect everything, we use the assistance of a tech sheet that Ryan received from a Mercedes expert. Thank you very much. And also the assistance of YouTube videos so that we could do everything correctly.
What we are doing now, what I am doing now, is taking off the injectors. Each and every wire that I disconnected and every bolt and each part that I removed, I labelled so I know where it goes when we put it back. Oh no, please don't tell me it's rope. No, it's not. I'm removing the injectors. Obviously when I put these back I realised these are stretch bolts, so we'll need a torque setting to put the injectors back in. The injectors will also be thoroughly cleaned inside and out before refit. These injectors aren't exactly cheap, so I didn't want to break any. Come on baby, come on. Oh mate, guess what? I can take off the rocker cover. I managed to take out all 4 injectors without breaking any. Here we are. And here we are, some actual gubbins of some actual engine. We're taking the rocker cover off the engine, and now what I'm doing is making sure the timing is at top dead centre. I have made sure that the one there lines up with this here, so that lines up there. The timing's in there. It's also, we've got a little mark here. Don't know how well you can see it on camera, but there's a little mark that lines up there. We've got the body of this lines up with the lines here. That all lines up, and also the knuckle there lines up there, and also that side as well. So it's in timing at top dead centre. So what I've got to do now is take off the timing chain in order to get the head off. I've also got to take the manifold off and a few other bits.
This is something that we need to do as well. We need to remove the oil from here. So I'm going to try to attempt to clean that on the engine.
What have you got to clean it with? What are you using?
We've got some brake and clutch cleaner to do the job.
Ah, beauty. I have to do this a few times, I think. Look. Look.
Damn it off.
Yeah.
Not the nicest job, but at least it's going to be, the engine's going to be clean, and it's actually satisfying to see the transformation.
We're taking the EGR valve off, so that's probably most likely what was causing the error.
That's the crack.
Yeah, so this is the EGR valve.
Is it supposed to be like that?
Well, it's just carbon build up, isn't it? You can clean it, but we'll get a new. We've got to get a new one anyway because of this. So taking that off, and then also this here. Also taking this off here. I just want to make sure we know this, obviously, if I need to rebuild it, when I need to rebuild it, yeah. And then we've got the EGR, that there. So this is the oil cooler, I think, and this is the EGR cooler, I think, unless it's all one section, but I'm not sure about that. But that looks like where the water's, the leak's coming from. So I've got to take that off, one in there, one there, and then that should come off, and then that one there, I've got to find out how to bolt that off. But I've taken this off here, this tube come off here, this one will come off here. Oi. Oh, you bastard. Okay. I think I found the problem. That is where our oil leak is, I think. Coming out bottom there. We have a gasket on here. And look at the gasket when it's pressed. It has a hole in it.
Oh.
So that's where the oil's getting out. So that's the problem. So there's a hole in the wrong place, so it's the wrong gasket been put on there.
So we need to get a new one from Mercedes?
We need to get a new one from Mercedes. So that is our problem.
I'm going to Norwich to get some Mercedes parts.
Yeah, so we're over the moon. We're finding out what's wrong with the van, and yeah, we're going to Norwich now to go to Motors Truck and Van to get some parts.
How do you feel about finding the problem?
Oh, I'm over the moon, honestly. I'm sure you lot can understand that it's a bit of a headache to take an engine out of a van for sure. Yeah, I'm I'm ecstatic to find the problem. Hopefully we can put it back together and put it in before the end of the month, which is you know, a week or so away. And then we need to put a new windscreen on and take it for an MOT.
Happy days.
But yeah, a long way to go yet, because we are basically, once it's fixed, we're going to change the head gasket as well on the floor. But once it's fixed, we are 2/3 of the way there. And we've arrived at Mercedes, and what we thought was the problem isn't actually a problem. The screw that goes in the back of the forged bit of the engine on the back where the timing is. Basically, Mercedes changed the forged bit at the back of the engine and they didn't change the gasket, so the hole is normal and it's not meant to leak with oil.
Bought the gasket anyway.
Right, so we've just come out of Mercedes and I mean, well, we've got the parts we think we need. So we found out that the sealer or the gasket that we believed was wrong. We find out that apparently that's standard, and they used to have one with a bolt, and they haven't. The part itself they had with a bolt hole, and the gasket just hasn't been renewed. So I'm assuming in the next range of new Mercedes, I'm assuming they will solve that issue.
So in itself, knowing that what we thought was the problem is not the problem, it just opens up more questions, to say the least, I suppose.
So what we have got on this list of things is that we got a few gaskets and, you know, a service kit, some other bits we would have needed anyway. We want to get the van on the road, and then we'd change things like brake pads and stuff like that, I think. I wanted to rebuild the engine originally. I don't know, I don't think it's going to be in our budget. Obviously we've got to do the Campervan build. With the problems with this van or this engine that we've had so far, I don't think rebuilding the engine completely is a viable option, with it being over 2,000 in parts, and a lot of labour as well, and obviously we've got a lot of labour going forward. We want to be on the road for the 1st of May ideally. So what do you think? How are you feeling, Jenny?
Well, I could see the lights at the end of the tunnel, and this puts a dent in that, to say the least.
So should we see how much these parts cost?